Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at some crazy battles in the Open Master League featuring a perfect IV level 51 Shadow SCIZOR. These battles were submitted to the channel by a member of the community, Super Shadow number 0, so many thanks for the battle submission. SCIZOR is a Bug and Steel type Pokemon, and this trainer is running Bullet Punch, Night Slash, and Iron Head, and in these sets, Shadow SCIZOR will not stop boosting, and this thing does so much damage when boosted. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Perfect IV Shadow SCIZOR. Hopping into the first match, leading Shadow SCIZOR into Dragonite. Going to stay in this matchup to start with the SCIZOR. SCIZOR looking to farm up, going for a switch into Metagross. Opponent going to stay in and fire off a superpower. Shadow Metagross can tank the superpower here, and now the opponent is going to send in their own Metagross. Whereas the opponent can go for a Meteor Mash, the Shadow one is going to have to go for the Earthquake here. The Shadow wins the CMP tie, and Earthquake is going to get a shield from the opponent. I like the no shield here. Just immediately let this go. Opponent not going for the undercharge, and that Shadow SCIZOR banked so much energy from earlier, and now Shadow SCIZOR gets to work. Going for Night Slash number 1 into the Metagross. Night Slash connects and gets the boost, and here goes Shadow SCIZOR. SCIZOR firing off another Night Slash. This is massive overkill onto the Metagross, and another boost! You have got to be kidding me! In comes Groudon, they farm up, they send in the Dragonite to force SCIZOR to throw the Night Slash. Double boosted Night Slash, that's gonna one-shot. Back in comes the Groudon. Groudon gonna have to deal with the double boosted Night Slash, commits the shield. These bullet punches are shredding the Groudon, and that's going to be a 2-shield flex. Shadow SCIZOR sweeps a team, and that's a good game. Moving into the next match, leading Shadow SCIZOR into Lugia. This is a pretty decent lead for the Shadow SCIZOR, of course, able to resist the Dragon Tails. SCIZOR gonna bank some energy and now gonna send in the Shadow Metagross. Opponent is now gonna respond with a level 50 Machamp. Machamp is going to be able to put in some decent work against the Metagross, but the thing is, Machamp is going to have to shield up that Shadow Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash hits incredibly hard. They go for the cross chop. Opponent, are they thinking about the farm down? No, they throw just before the next Meteor Mash is reached. And he's just going to let this go, trusting in the fact that with shields and energy, Shadow SCIZOR, well, shields, energy, and a boost, Shadow SCIZOR can go absolutely crazy. Machamp not able to make it to the big move there as they're forced to only go for the cross chop. Opponent gonna send back in the Lugia, going for some chip damage here with the Dragon Claw, and then I'm guessing it's Shadow SCIZOR time. In comes the Shadow SCIZOR. SCIZOR firing off the Night Slash here. Night Slash into the Lugia, gets the boost again. You've got to be kidding me. Lugia going for the Sky Attack. We see the shield from the SCIZOR in the back. Oh no, it's Mewtwo. Mewtwo is about to have a truly awful day. Mewtwo is going to win CMP over the SCIZOR. SCIZOR firing back with the boosted Night Slash. Night Slash into the Mewtwo. Gets shielded. This time, we actually see a Night Slash that does not boost. Now going for another Night Slash. Night Slash into the Mewtwo, gets the KO. Back in comes the Lugia, and it's too little too late for the Lugia, as Shadow SCIZOR will get the KO with the Night Slash. We see a bit of a core breaker on the lead in the next match. Shadow SCIZOR into Excadrill. Excadrill, a bit of a problem spot for this team, but not when you catch a Drill Run onto your Shadow Dragonite. Very nicely done. Opponent gonna stay in here because they will be able to outpace and make it to the Rock Slide. Rock Slide, I mean, it's a Shadow Dragonite, but I think it's still barely going to be able to hang on. Dragonite farming up here. Dragonite forcing the CMP tie. This was a very tough lead, but so far it is being played absolutely perfectly here. The Excadrill has taken a lot of damage, and it gave up a shield, and now it has absolutely no energy. So SCIZOR can come in, farm up 4 bullet punches, and then fire off the Night Slash. Night Slash gets shielded. Again, we do not see a boost, which honestly, considering how many boosts were in the first 2 games, is slightly surprising. In the back, it's Kyogre, and this is where running an ABA-style team can be a bit rough. Dragonite, of course, destroys Kyogre, but Dragonite is no longer available to use. Farming up with that Metagross and able to make it to the last second Earthquake. Shadow Earthquake is going to hurt, doing big damage onto Kyogre. Kyogre is going to get the farm down. In comes SCIZOR. SCIZOR firing off the Night Slash. This will be lethal. KOing that Kyogre. And we see the boost in the back. Opponent has an XL Zarude, and that boost may have just won SCIZOR this game. SCIZOR losing CMP on the Dark Pulse, but this is now a boosted Iron Head. Zarude is a very tanky Pokemon when XL'd, but it doesn't look tanky due to that boosted Iron Head. SCIZOR is going to get to the Night Slash before Excadrill does. Night Slash will KO the Exca and gets one more boost for the road. Moving into the next match, leading Shadow SCIZOR into Rayquaza. Farming up with the SCIZOR. He really likes to save energy on the SCIZOR and then try and catch a move onto whichever Pokemon in the back it's going to be resisted in. In comes a Groudon, and Groudon is a problem here. Opponent goes for a Fire Punch. This is a Shadow Metagross, but that's not going to KO. Metagross will be able to hang on and make it to the Meteor Mash here. Meteor Mash is debuffed by that Breaking Swipe, but the opponent shields. The opponent, thinking that the team was already ABA weak to Groudon, thinking that maybe it was triple weak, but it's not. And now Dragonite will get massive farm, as this is Groudon's worst matchup. Groudon cannot do anything to Dragonite. Groudon firing off Fire Punch after Fire Punch, desperately trying to escape, and does. In comes Xerneas, so the opponent was able to successfully burn the switch clock with Fire Punches, but Xerneas is not going to appreciate that Iron Head. And now you just shield this. You shield this, you farm down. Opponent goes for the Moonblast, fishing for the debuff, and they do not get it. All this SCIZOR does is boost. It doesn't get debuffed, it only raises its attack. Night Slash shielded by the Groudon. Groudon banked energy here, and they're going to fire off the Fire Punch. SCIZOR needs to get rid of the Groudon, and does. Gets the farm down. Back in comes Rayquaza, going for the Night Slash here, thinking Iron Head may not be enough to KO. Night Slash will connect. SCIZOR gets the boost again. Dude, this SCIZOR is on a rampage. Night Slash takes down Rayquaza, and that's a good game. We see a tough lead in the next match, Shadow SCIZOR into Palkia. Not only does Palkia have a pretty massive advantage in terms of stat product, but these resisted bullet punches from the SCIZOR are just doing nothing to the Palkia. Palkia grabs an early shield with an Aqua Tail, farming up so much energy on the SCIZOR, and we see a catch, again saving energy on the SCIZOR and catching a move onto the Dragonite where it's resisted. But bad news for the Dragonite, it's immediately getting hard punished by Togekiss, showing why Dragonite as a safe switch unfortunately is a bit limited in terms of its coverage. In comes Shadow Metagross. Metagross can tank an Aura Sphere, but they didn't build up to it. This is just an Ancient Power, so you can just very comfortably no-shield there. Opponent needed to commit to the Aura Sphere there, as now they just get farmed down. And this Shadow Metagross has so much energy in the back, it's Melmetal. Going straight for the Earthquake here, going for the Hail Mary, but Melmetal will commit the shield. Melmetal continuing to farm. We're going to see a no-shield, going to trust in the SCIZOR. Melmetal goes for a Rock Slide there, anticipating a shield, and this is going to let Metagross make it to another Earthquake. Earthquake is going to get the second shield. At this point, you just stay in, you force them to throw, and SCIZOR is very close to 3 Night Slashes there. SCIZOR has so much energy. Opponent makes a nice switch, catching onto the Palkia. Night Slash will connect. SCIZOR does not get the boost. Honestly, with how many boosts we've seen, I'm a bit surprised it didn't get the boost. Night Slash, there's the boost, and we see the farm down from the SCIZOR. The question is, can 2 boosted Night Slashes KO here? SCIZOR connects. It looks like 2 boosted Night Slashes will not KO, and SCIZOR is going to need a third. Night Slash will connect. SCIZOR, it's not going to get to a third, but I think that boosted Bullet Punch will KO after the Rock Slide is shielded, and Shadow SCIZOR gets the win. We see a familiar lead in the next match, Shadow SCIZOR into Rayquaza. At this point, we know how he likes to play it, typically farming up and probably going to look for a catch onto the Shadow Metagross where the move is resisted. So this way, he can keep his SCIZOR very healthy. The Rayquaza is going to stay in here. Rayquaza actually going for a double debuff, so it looks like the opponent does not have a strong counter to Shadow Metagross in the back. Shadow Metagross continuing to farm up here and going to fire off the Meteor Mash before Rayquaza is able to make another Breaking Swipe. Rayquaza is going to let that through. They now send in Dialga, not going to make it to the Earthquake, forced to settle for the Meteor Mash. How well was the opponent counting? Not well enough, as Dialga shields what could have only been a Meteor Mash. In comes the Shadow SCIZOR. SCIZOR, these Night Slashes Slashes. Gonna need a boost if they're gonna do meaningful damage here. Night Slash connects, and there's the boost. Oh my goodness. Shadow Scizor, Night Slash. We now see a shield from the Dialga, and we do not see the double boost. Shadow Scizor able to hang on and make it to one final Night Slash here. Night Slash into the Dialga, nearly gets the KO, and gets the farm down. In the back, it's Zacian. Zacian. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Zacian, of course, has the type advantage here, but Zacian is down 2 shields. Are they double nuke here? Is it a wild charge? No, it's a play rough. So Zacian not going to make it easy on Dragonite here. Dragonite continuing to farm. We will see the double shield from the Dragonite. Is double superpower going to be enough here? Superpower, of course, is only single resisted compared to the double resist from any dragon damage. Going for superpower number 1. Superpower connects, and superpower number 2 will do it. So Dragonite, after getting charmed down earlier, gets its revenge on fairy types as it gets the win. Now we move into the next match, leading Shadow Scizor into Lugia, a lead that this team has seen before. Scizor, farming up a bunch of energy, can choose to throw first, but instead gonna stay in and commit a shield as Lugia fires off the Sky Attack. And now Scizor continuing to farm. Scizor farming up to max energy, and now we're going to see a switch into the Shadow Metagross as Lugia fires off their Sky Attack. Metagross is going to be answered by a Giratina Altered. Giratina Altered, as opposed to Origin, is extremely bulky. They fire off the Shadow Sneak. Only going to get to the one move here. Meteor Mash and Earthquake. Actually, I was going to say they do the same amount of damage in neutral situations, but Earthquake got nerfed, so I believe Meteor Mash is now strictly better. Someone in the comments can let me know if I'm mistaken there, but I believe with the nerf, that would mean, as we see another Scizor boost, oh my goodness, going for the Night Slash, we see the double shield, and Scizor able to make a third Night Slash here, as this is just going to straight up KO the Giratina. In the back, they have Togekiss. Togekiss hoping for the charm down. They don't get it. But this is going to be awkward here. Farming up and firing off the Night Slash. Night Slash will connect into the Lugia. Farming up, banking the Iron Head, and that will win the game. Very, very nice energy management there. Togekiss will get to absolutely crush the Shadow Dragonite, but it's all for naught for the Togekiss, as the Scizor in the back has the Iron Head loaded. The opponent got the Scizor incredibly low, but not low enough, as Scizor takes the victory. We move into the next match, leading Shadow Scizor into Rayquaza. Rayquaza seems to be a very common lead. Honestly, the team that I was running that I hit Veteran with does have a Rayquaza lead, so I can't blame people. It's very strong in the lead. Honestly, basically just anywhere you run it, lead or a closer. Very nice catch there. Going to stay in with the Rayquaza to bank some energy and now send in Kyogre. Kyogre, a bit unfortunate, going to fire off the Earthquake. Earthquake, easy no shield for the Kyogre, as Kyogre will get the full farm down. You definitely have to send in the Dragonite here. Oh, they didn't build up to the Blizzard. If they build up to the Blizzard, Dragonite would have to respect it, but they went for the Blind Surf, anticipating that it would be the Scizor coming in. In the back, it's Lugia, and maybe there's an opportunity for Shadow Scizor to sweep, but I think it's going to need another boost. Night Slash does not get the boost, farming up and throwing on very nice charge move timing here, firing off another Night Slash. Night Slash into the Lugia, will be shielded. There's that boost we were waiting for, but unfortunately, its attack is going to be lowered from +2 to +1 by that Breaking Swipe. Scizor farming up and firing off the Night Slash. Night Slash into the Rayquaza here. Does Rayquaza shield? They do. Scizor cannot get the boost, but it does get a last second Night Slash. Night Slash into Rayquaza will get the KO. Back in comes that Shadow Dragonite. Unfortunately, slight error in timing there, as Lugia will get the Dragon Tail through. Lugia firing a charge move. In this situation, you definitely do not want to throw the charge move as the opponent. You just go for the farm down, because they are not going to be able to make it to a second Sky Attack here. So you just want to go for the farm down. It's going to be a race. Dragon Breath versus Dragon Tail. And the Scizor on 1 HP gets the win. Hopping into the final match, and we see a very tricky lead. Shadow Scizor into Melmetal. This is going to be awkward. Melmetal is a problem for this entire team, and this is even a best buddy Melmetal at that. We see an immediate shield from the Scizor. Melmetal just going to go for the Rock Slide. Continuing to farm up with the Scizor, we see a switch into the Metagross. and Metagross will be met with a lot of energy from the Melmetal here. Melmetal baits with a Rock Slide, anticipating a shield. That is a massive no shield, and again we see a no shield here. Opponent will finally go for the superpower, as that does a lot of damage. In comes Giratina Origin here. I believe you do want to go for the Meteor Mash in this situation, since Earthquake did get nerfed. It ends up being shielded anyway, and now is it Dragonite time, or does SCIZOR get brought in with all the energy? It's SCIZOR time. SCIZOR firing off the Night Slash into the Giratina Origin. Giratina is going to let that go. We do not see the boost. Honestly, there's been so many boosts that I'm surprised when we don't see a boost, but the Giratina gets the boost. Oh my goodness. This opponent said, anything you can do, I can do better. Night Slash will be shielded, and now we get the boost from SCIZOR. The battle of boosted Pokemon. Night Slash into the Giratina will get the KO. Back in comes the Melmetal, trying to make it to the Night Slash, and gets there. This is double boosted damage into the Melmetal. That's gonna hurt. Farming up and just forcing them to throw. Trusting in Shadow Dragonite to win this game. In comes Shadow Dragonite in the back. Opponent has their own Dragonite. Will be able to outpace and make the Dragon Claw here. This is going to be close. Dragon Claw into the opponent. Will connect and gets the farm down, denying them the move. In comes the Melmetal. Melmetal makes a move. Is it the superpower? Is it the Rock Slide? It's the Rock Slide, and the opponent with a sliver of HP takes the win. All in all, these were some insanely fun battles to watch. Perfect IV Shadow Pokemon, seeing them at their fullest potential in the Master League is something I love. I only have 2 Perfect IV Shadow Pokemon, but if you have a Perfect IV Shadow Pokemon and you have it all the way powered up to 50, definitely try it out and consider submitting, because these battles are some of my favorite to shoutcast. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We might even get there by the end of the month. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is sincerely appreciated. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.